The costs of living are way too expensive in Germany. Rents over the last years in Germany have exploded. Have you heard one of these sentences before? I did. A lot actually. And most of the time it's just a personal impression or a feeling. None of this is usually backed up by facts and numbers. As we're in the finance and investment business, we don't particularly like myths and people's feelings here. We like data. And that's why we will take a look how rents in Germany have developed, how housing prices have developed, and why they have developed in the way they did. All in this GermanReal.Estate blog. What is almost always left aside in this rents have exploded discussion is the fact that rents are never one economic factor left alone in the universe. They are one tiny factor of the entire real estate cosmos. And if you want to answer the question if rents in Germany have become increasingly expensive, you need at least one other factor, which is right, income. And since income is net salary for most people, let us compare how rents have developed in relationship to net salaries in Germany. The German Economic Institute looked at rents in the top 7 cities, the A locations that are most expensive to buy and to rent properties. It looks a little overwhelming at first, but stay with me, we can do this. The fundamental question of the graph is, how many square meters can a person afford to rent in the top 7 cities if he spends a maximum of 25% of his net salary? So, without even going into the details, you can see that Munich is the most expensive city to rent because the bars are the smallest. Now, what do these bars mean exactly? The yellowish bar shows how many square meters the median earner can afford with spending only 25% of his net salary. The median is the person with exactly the middle salary. 50% of the population earn more than him and 50% earn less than him. This median could afford 36 square meters in Munich, the lowest, and around 55 square meters in Düsseldorf, the highest of the top 7 cities, both in the year 2018. That is why our first real estate security token is in the surrounding cities of Düsseldorf. And the second security token we're currently working on is also in close proximity to Düsseldorf. So if you want to invest in real estate there in the easiest way possible, then check out our website GermanReal.Estate, which is linked in the description. In 2021, the median earner could afford 2% more square meters than 3 years before in both Munich and Düsseldorf. That is the greenish bar. Surprising, eh? What is even more surprising is that in 5 out of the top 7 cities, the median could afford a bigger flat in 2021 compared to 2018. Only Stuttgart is down by 1% and Cologne by 2%. So even though rents probably increased in a nominal value in all 7 cities, they became more affordable and people could rent slightly bigger flats. Sounds a little counterintuitive, but let me tell you why. The other 2 bars in light blue and dark blue, man, what are those colors? Show how many square meters the 20% with the lowest net salary can afford, and we can ignore that. Why? In Berlin, the 20% with the lowest salary can afford more square meters than the median, which is 50% of the salary. We couldn't figure out any way that this can be correct. So there's probably a mistake in the chart. So how come rents have become more cheaper while they have become more expensive at the same time? Well, salaries increased faster than rents did. Here you can see the cities in which salaries increased a lot more than rents. Look at Rostock, the 3rd largest German city on the Baltic Sea. Salaries went up by 35% from 2009 to 2019 and rents decreased by 5%. Pro tip: I wouldn't invest in real estate there because if rents are falling in Rostock while they're increasing everywhere else, property prices will eventually follow and go down as well. In these cities, rents became cheaper, or more affordable actually. And in these cities, rents went up faster than salaries. Are you surprised to see Berlin and Munich again? I'm not. Charts like these 2 are the reason why we are saying almost every time that there is not one real estate in Germany. Our real estate market is so diverse that you have to take a deeper look. It makes a huge difference if you are looking at A, B, C or D locations. But if you really want to force an answer to the question, did rents in Germany explode? I would say partly Yes. Here's an interesting statistic that puts our cost of living here in Germany in perspective with other European countries. Attention though! The first statistic with the weird colors was looking at singles, net salaries and rents. The second statistic with Rostock was looking at singles too, gross salaries, not net salaries, and rents as well. This chart here looks at households, so not necessarily singles, net salaries again, and general costs of livings. So the only statistic that includes renters and homeowners. You first gotta understand what the statistic is actually looking at. Otherwise you might come to wrong conclusions. People in Germany that spend more than 40% of their household net income on living are a little over 11%, which is pretty high up there in the European comparison. So yes, rents had a mini explosion. But you know what had a big explosion? Property prices. Houses in Germany almost doubled in value from 2010 to the end of 2021. All while rents have increased just 17%. That's a pretty big discrepancy. I mean, look at the EU 27 average. Basically the same rent increase as Germany, but property prices didn't increase half as much as here. I know. This is gonna spark the whole bubble discussion again, isn't it? You see the plus 93% property price increase and think, that's too much. Property prices need to fall and the bubble will burst. Really? If you want to take away just one thing from our videos, then please let it be this. Start asking the why question. Why did property prices increase in Germany so much? Far more than rents did. Because Germany is not building enough properties. Every year we are effectively losing living space, and we have done so for the last 20 years. All details in this video if you want to check it out. And if you want to profit from rising German real estate prices and rising rents, then check out our website GermanReal.Estate that allows you to invest in properties in the easiest way possible with security tokens.